The Galar region. So beautiful. So serene. Pokemon's Gen 8 home. And much like the United States of America, they're picking and choosing who they're letting into their great region. My name is Sir Squire, and I, alone, am going to pick and choose the Pokemon that I would let into Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Now, before I begin, I have a couple of things that I want to clear with you. Number one, I am not noggin. I am not researching this. These are just purely me looking at these Pokemon and deciding if I'm letting them in or if I'm not letting them in. If I let them in, you'll see this. And if I'm not letting them in, you will see this. Again, if I let them in, this guy, not letting them in, this guy. So, with that being said, you might also notice that there are some Pokemon of this type that are not in the list, and that's because that Pokemon has two types, count them, and I'm going to do a video on the other type, and that Pokemon's going to be in that video, so you're going to have to deal with it. So, with that being said, let's get right into it, shall we? First up, we have the Charmander line. Now, of course, the Charmander line has to be in. It's the most popular line. I'm not even that excited about it being in, but like, come on, it has to be in. It has to be there. And what I would do is I would make Charizard a 50% shiny rate. So like, it doesn't matter if your Charmeleon's not shiny. When it evolves, it is a 50% chance of becoming shiny, and Mega Charizards are going to be in this. The Mega Charizard X and Y will both be in this game. We could call them Mega Charizard Sword and Shield. I don't really care what you call them. It's fine. But when he Mega evolves, he just gets a little monocle on his face. I feel like that's just appropriate. Welcome to England. You have a Mega Charizard with a monocle. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't like improve its eyesight. It's just, you know, fancy. Like, that's what we do here, right? So next up, we have Vulpix. Vulpix here, of course, look at this cutie patootie. Vulpix, of course, has to be in this game. We don't have a choice, right? Like, the first two, no choice. Like, he's just in. He's just in. Now, Ninetales, on the other hand, no. I'm not letting Ninetales in. You only get this cutie patootie Vulpix. You throw a Firestone at this thing, it's going to do nothing. You're just going to smack it away. And he's going to go, next time, Chief. Not right now. Next region. Pass. That's right, all Vulpix will evolve into a Alolan Vulpix. I'll get to that down the road. But like, you give this Fire Vulpix an Ice Stone, it turns into the Ice Ninetales. That's just how this works, okay? You're gonna have to deal with me here. If you don't like it, I don't care, it's my list. Okay, so next up we have Growlithe and Arcanine. So, I feel like out of everyone, right, these two seem to be like straight up front runners for this, but I'm gonna say that this is the first line I'm gonna pass on. I feel like it's too obvious. I feel like Growlithe and Arcanine are just in every game. They're just there. They're super strong competitively. Let's shake up the meta a little bit, right? Like, let's shake it up. Get Arcanine out of here. Like, it's fine. Growlithe and Arcanine, pass. See you in Gen 9. It's fine. Next, we have Ponyta and Rapidash. Now, what is Great Britain without a horse? We need horses. So Ponyta and Rapidash, you're in. Welcome to the club. There's tea and scones in the back. Enjoy them. I'll be there later to talk to you about Brexit. Next up, we have Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak, we're going to have to soft pass on this dude. I feel like he's meant strictly for Hawaii. So, you know, maybe there's like a Galarian Marowak we could talk about, but he's not going to be fire type. So, we're done here. Sorry, Alolan Marowak. I hope you enjoy your luau. Next, we have Magmar. No Magmar. Mostly just because I think he looks ugly. Next up, we have Flareon. Now, this is going to be a little controversial, and by a little controversial, I mean extremely controversial, but I'm going to say no to Flareon, because we just had a whole Eevee game, and I would like to have a whole game on the Switch without staring at Flareon. Next, we have Moltres. Now, you know, we're going to get into a little bit of a kerfuffle over legendary Pokemon, because like you have to assume there's a bunch of legendary Pokemon in this game. So, I'm going to pass on Moltres here. Now, that might be controversial because I know the birds are a lot of people's favorites, but Moltres is just not in the game. I don't have to give a reason. This is my opinion. If you don't like it, you can make your own video or just leave a list in the comments of who you'd let in. I don't really care. But for me, Moltres, not getting in. Cyndaquil, not getting in. Sorry, no chinchillas allowed in Great Britain. No. Quilava, absolutely. I would... so here's what I would do. Let's just throw the whole Cyndaquil line up on the screen. Right? We got Cyndaquil, we got Quilava, we got Typhlosion, right? So they're all on the screen. They're all chilling. They're all doing their thing. Now, what I would do is I would pass on Cyndaquil and pass on Typhlosion and just let Wild Quilava run around. Can't evolve. They're just there. Like, you can catch them. They'll be your best friend. They look so cool. They're the coolest part of that line anyway. No one's going to complain about this. Slugma and Magcargo, I like them. I actually really do. I like their derpiness. And while I would like to incorporate some derps into the region, Slugma and Magcargo are going to have to get let down here. It's not you, it's me. Houndour and Houndoom are next. And these are the dogs that I want in Great Britain. Sorry, Growlithe. Sorry, Arcanine. I want Houndour and Houndoom in this region. Mega Houndoom, you are welcome to come also, but you have to be a Cerberus. You have to have 3 heads, or we're not talking. We're not friends. Magby, no, you're ugly just like your evolution. Entei, really cool Pokemon, but pass. Again, there can only be so many legends in this game. If we're thinning the herd, if we're thinning the decks, there can only be so many. And the same goes with the next Pokemon, Ho-Oh. Great Pokemon, but if we're thinning the decks, like, you can't have a million legends fly around. Like, it's just not going to be possible if you're going to thin the decks. Next up, we got my boys, Torchic, Combustion, and Blaziken. Right? Yeah, of course. Of course they're going to make it in. They're my little self-frying chicken boys. They're going to make it in. Absolutely. Mega Blaziken, you're not welcome in this region. You're too strong for me, my dude. We're just going to stick with regular Blaziken, and we're going to call it a day. Speed Boost, that can be debated. Blaziken itself, absolutely welcome to the club. Welcome. Next up, Numel and Camerupt. Nah. It's not a very volcanic place. Let's just call it a day. Okay, boys? Okay, boys. Next up, we have Torkoal, who I'm also going to pass on for a very similar reason. I think it's a more tropical-y kind of Pokemon, and I just don't think it's going to fit in, like, the foggy, cold Britain region, so no. Cast form. Sun form. Next up, we have Groudon, which I guess is like primal. I guess that's why he's on this list. No. Big pass on primal Groudon. We don't need it. The Chimchar line, Chimchar, Monferno, and Infernape. I'm going to say an emphatic no because Sinnoh remakes are on the way, and we'll get plenty of Infernape goodness in those games. So, hard pass on the Chimchar line. This is one of my favorite lines in the game, and I'm not including it because, I don't know, I feel like it. Next up, we have Magmortar. No, ugly. Yeah. Rotom. Heat. Yeah, absolutely Rotom Heat. I like how he's like a little toaster oven. I like him. I think it would be really cool if maybe they turned him into like a cauldron or something. Like, I would like Rotom variants where like he becomes like medieval things. Like, that'd be cool. Like, let's do it. Rotom cauldron form. Yeah. Heatran, no. Big no for Heatran. Victini. I feel like Victini is a big football fan. And not like football, but like, yeah, like football. I feel like Victini would be a big football fan. So we're gonna say that Victini's in. Bring on Victini. Bring on the Victory Star. Let's do it. Tepig, absolutely Tepig's coming. And you might be like, but wait a minute, you just said Chimchar's not coming, but Tepig's coming? Yeah, absolutely Tepig's coming. Because if you know something about Britain, you know that their food is kind of garb, right? So you're going to want a self-cooking piggy to come along so you get some free bacon. But Tepig can evolve. So Pignite, Emboar, you're not welcome. The Tepig for the bacon can absolutely come because Because boys gotta eat, my dude. Boys gotta eat. Like, that's just how it is, man. Like, you gotta eat, you know. Alright, so Pansear and Simisear. So I talked about how we need some derps, right? We need a couple of meme boys. Pansear and Simisear are gonna be my meme boys here. We're gonna have some fire monkeys running around, mostly just because I feel like they're the most awkward of the monkeys, so I feel like they'd be the most fun to have, right? So they're in. Welcome in, boys. It's good. Darumaka and Darmanitan. Alright, now we're playing ball. Now we're playing hardball. Darumaka and Darmanitan. Welcome to the club, boys. I cannot wait to run around this region with my Darmanitan, just flare blitzing everyone in their stupid face, except for Zen mode. Zen mode, you are not welcome. You stay in Unova. Give my boy a real hidden ability. Give it to him. Zen mode Darmanitan's trash and you know it. Next up, we have the Litwick line. Litwick, Lampent, Chandelure. Welcome in, boys. It's Britain. Time to class up the joint with some candles. You know what I'm saying? We gotta let these boys in. Class up the joint a little bit. So if you have a Litwick on your team in Pokemon Sword and Shield, make sure you know you're classing up your team a little bit here. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing, boys. We need it. We need it. Alright, so next up we have Heatmore. Like, stupid Anteater. Like, no, God! Go away. Next we have Larvesta and Volcarona. I'm gonna say no. Oh, God! Because I like watching you be sad. Next, we have the Fennekin line. Fennekin, Braixen, and Delphox. So, I love Fennekin. I actually do. I like Braixen. And, surprisingly, I kind of like Delphox. It's interesting. It's different. But I'm going to say no. No, God! Which is weird. Because I'm saying no to a lot of Pokemon I like. But I feel like for a game, right? Like, how many fire Pokemon are you going to have in this game? Like, you can't have, like, a million fire Pokemon. This is the first one. This is the first one. I can't say yes to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Got to build out the region a little bit here. So next up, we have Litleo and Pyroar. And I mean, like, is there a more regal Pokemon than Pyroar? Like, of course they have to be there. Of course they do. Like, yeah. Volcanion, it's weird, it's ugly, no, get out of my face. Litten, Torcat, and Incineroar. So, like, right, you know where we're going with this here. Like, of course they have to be there, but I'm not gonna let them in. And you might be like, whoa, you're not letting Incineroar in? Well, there's a couple of reasons I'm not letting Litten, Torcat, and Incineroar in. First reason is, you can't have a million starters running around this region. Like, I'm sorry, but you can't. You can't just have a million starters running around the region. Second of all, Incineroar was super busted broken in VGC, and I feel like not including him shakes up the meta a little bit, so I kind of like that. So we're not going to include Litten, Torcat, and Incineroar in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Game Freak's taking notes. This is how they're building the decks, is from these videos. Next, you have Oricorio Bale Style. I don't know how to pronounce that. No, you're gone, fam. I'm sorry. Salandit and Salazzle. No, because again, I feel like they're too tropical. I feel like they need to be by like a rainforest. They need to be by a desert, and I feel like these are environmental things Pokemon Sword and Shield don't have. And I might be sounding like I know what I'm talking about, but really I just don't want to include them, so I have to come up with a reason to settle the fanboys. Next up, we have Turtonator. Hell yeah, Turtonator's coming! Turtonator, get your butt in here, get your patoot in here, and Turtonator's in. That's right. Turtonator's in. Deal with it. Finally, Blacephalon. Absolutely not. I'm not letting any Ultra Beasts into my region. Multiverse is going away. I don't really care. It ruined the game for me. They're gone. Thank you very much. Bye.
This message is transmitted at the request of
Sir Squire.